capture 2, default. Good evening. 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 What is going on with the sound? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. There we go. There we go. There we go. Ah. Good evening, Tom. There we go. Right. It's working. Scotland team has been announced, but not on Twitter as yet. The BBC have just released the team early. There's the Scotland team up now. It is Angus Gunn. It is Anthony Ralston. I'm going to get it on the screen. 2 seconds. I will get it up on the screen. People will be a bit upset. Tony Ralston's starting. Copy that. Save. And I'll just get this up on the screen just now. To uploads. And just give me 2 seconds just to get this on the actual screen. Uploads. There is the starting 11. Pull that down there. That's there. 2 seconds to do that. And transparent. Oh, this takes a while when it's a different page, doesn't it? Download. So there's basically the same team without Kieran Tierney starting. So then if I go into this, change this picture. And this should, by magic... Oh, no, wait a second. Is it going to work? There we go. There's the Scotland team on the screen. We have the Scotland team on the screen. Let me get back on this page. Some of the comments in is working. Basild's football is working. There's only a few folk on. Let me just get to this. Get this to catch up. It seems to be running a bit slower. Just double check. There we go. Oh, it's paused. That's why. There we go. Right. So the team pretty much is. Good evening to you, Tom. Right. The team obviously is Angus Gunn and Tony Ralston. Tony Ralston keeps his position, even though he made that little bit of a cock up. Andy Robertson, the captain, Scott McTominay, Grant Hanley, John McGinn, Callum McGregor, Che Adams, Jack Hendry, Billy Gilman, Scott McKenna. Scott McKenna that has been linked with a move to Copenhagen. He's been linked with a move to Copenhagen after this. I'm going to stick on BBC Scotland. Turn that down a bit because it isn't started even on the BBC. So, what do you think about that team? And can Scotland do it? Can Scotland do it tonight? This is the big question. And there has been some votes in. 25% say yes, 38% says no, and 38% says, come on, it's Scotland. Well, the bad news when it comes to concerning Scotland is the fact that Scotland sit on 6 goals against. Scotland sit on 6 goals against. They sit on -4 goal difference, 6 goals against, which means for Scotland to finish second tonight, Switzerland will need to be beaten by 4 goals. They will need to be beaten by 4 goals for Scotland to go level. If Scotland win, if not, they're going to finish third. And that's a prediction that I said at the beginning of the tournament. Because as soon as you let in 5 goals against Germany, the writing was on the wall for finishing second. The writing was on the wall. We needed to score a few more goals against Hungary. We didn't. Against Switzerland, sorry. We only got a 1-1 draw against Switzerland. The Scottish team were set up to kind of get that draw. People say that Scotland should and maybe have won that game. When the fuck is he going to see Forrest get a game? Yeah. Bet the wee man could set up a goal or even score one. Yeah, I think there's pretty much a lot of people probably agreeing with that. There's 4 people watching, which isn't too bad. But yeah, I'll probably go live on this channel after the game also because it's not Celtic related and it is Scotland, so it's only fair that I don't do it on the Celtic page. But anyway, it is. I'm going to put it onto YouTube. Put this. Copy it on Twitter. It's pretty much the strongest team that it could probably have put out, isn't it? Victory over Hungary. They should still reach the last 16 via third position. Well, I've got to say, fair play to the fans. Fair play to the fans that have been out there because a lot of the fans that I've got on my Instagram that are out there have been absolutely hammering the drink since the beginning of the tournament. And fair play to them. Fair play to them. They're all mad as hatters, aren't they? But they are all as mad as hatters. I'll just get that. There we go. The sign's fine. Right. There's not going to be a lot of comments on this because there's not a lot of people watching. It's a bit strange doing another channel, a newer channel, when trying to build it up. But anyway, it is what it is. Right. Scotland, there's been 9 votes. Yes, 33%, which means there's 3 votes each. 3 for no. And come on, it's Scotland, 33%. 6 people, 9 have voted altogether. I mean, is Che Adams ever going to get a shot on target? Is he even going to get a shot at goal? I mean, playing that formation, you can understand why he's playing the formation, but I mean, I would change the wingers a bit. I mean, it's okay saying that he's going to bring on Jamesy Forrest late on, but when you look at the goalkeepers, there's Xander Clark in goals, Liam Kelly in goals. I wonder if he'll get a move this summer, the Motherwell player. Lawrence Shankland, Ryan Christie, Liam Cooper, Stuart Armstrong, Lewis Morgan, Tommy Conway, who has been linked with Celtic, Ryan Jack, and Ross McCorry. Kenny McLean, Greg Taylor, and James Forrest are the final 2 players. From a Celtic perspective, a lot of people would be looking for James Forrest to try and get some game time because let's face it, I mean, is it better bringing James Forrest on later in the game? Is it better bringing James Forrest in later in the game? Should Shankland have started this final game? Should Shankland have started this final game in the group? He is a goal scoring machine. He's scored a lot more goals than the one and only Che Adams. Let's face it, he scored a lot more goals than Che Adams. And I think that, I mean, even when you look at the goal that McTominay scored, well, it was given to McTominay, but when you look at it, it was deflected past the goalkeeper. We've went into the competition, we've scored 1 goal, and it's been a deflection. It has been a deflection. And fair enough, Scotland could have had their chances later on against Switzerland, but they didn't. It is all about it tonight. Has the Scotland manager given this team any hope with that team that he's picked? Has he given the country any hope? And the fact that if Scotland win, there is this chance that they still can't go through to the last 16 after finishing third. Right, there's got to be a swing of 6 goals. There's got to be a swing of at least 6 goals for Scotland. So Scotland would have to score at least a minimum of 3, and Germany will have to beat them by a minimum of 3. Oh my God! It is going to be one of those fantastic nights for Scottish football. But can the Germans and will the Germans put at least a minimum of 3 goals past the Swiss? Now, the Swiss haven't. I mean, the Swiss will play really tight at the back. Can Scotland score 3 goals in one game? That's a big shout. And that's just for them finishing second for automatic qualification. Which can you want? Now the BBC have got Scotland setting up in a back four, which they haven't. They've got Ralston, Hendry, Hanley, McKenna. They've got them set up as a back five actually, which is wrong. But Scotland will probably be set up as a back. I mean, fair play. I mean, it probably is the manager's way, and they're playing with Che Adams at front. I still don't think that Che Adams is the guy that we need up front. I think that really, when you look at the players on the bench, for me, I would have had Shankland. I would have had Lawrence Shankland up front. Let me just hear what they're saying. To the one and only McGinn. Don't know if that's coming through. Boys are calm and ready to go, says McGinn. Says John McGinn. Interesting. They want to be that team. Hopefully it's tonight. Hopefully. What's been the big message with Steve Clark? Win, score goals. And the manager speaks. Jesus Christ. They've got it. It's the BBC, isn't it? They're absolutely mad. Is that coming through on the. Anyway, come on, Hungary. Sick of seeing those clowns in skirts playing the bagpipes on TV. That's a bit harsh. That is a bit harsh. He's going for a back three, and there's David Moyes. Why is the BBC got English folk on the fucking Jesus? You never have. Ah, it's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? Jamesy Boy says can't see the team. No Gilmer, no playing. It says Jamesy Boy. I think for me, I would have put a more offensive team. Would you have had Gilmer for the start? Is Gilmer as good as James Forrest on the wing? For me, I would have had Shankland and James Forrest starting because you've got to go out and try and get some goals for this team. You've got to try and get some goals for this team. We need to score a minimum of 3. Germany need to win by 3, and that's the only way that Scotland are going to qualify second. Some people online leaving Shankland on the bench is questionable. Says one guy. Best of luck to Jack Henry today. Says the next one. Win then. Best of luck to Jack Henry today. Says someone. And there seems to be a lot of people from Saudi Arabia, talking on the Scotland chat. Um, well, the next guy says a horrible team. Adams definitely the nudes of Clark's wife. It is the only reason he starts. Che Adams has nudes of Clark's wife. It's the only reason he starts. I genuinely hope they win, but it's a must-win game. Score goals without the man who scored 31 goals this season and nearly 60 in 2 seasons is scandalous. Says Craig McD. People are laughing at Ralston. Pack the bags now. Only Clark could make zero changes to a team that played a couple of days ago and still preserve with a back five, with Tierney out injured against a defensive low block. Anything less than 3 points will be needed. He will be sacked if not. Shankland and Ralston starting. Shankland and no Shankland and Ralston starting, says another. Please start Shankland. How much evidence do we need? Come on, boys, let's do this, says Harry on Twitter. I think it's a mistake playing McGinn. He's proven time and time again he's not good enough to be in that side. It's a really strong team. Who would you drop? Who would you drop out of that midfield to put in the likes of James Forrest on the wing? And I would definitely, for me, I would drop Che Adams. Che Adams has done nothing, absolutely nothing in the tournament, and he doesn't warrant having the start and berth. For me, personally, I would have played the Hearts boy Shankland. I would have started Shankland all day long, and I just think that the manager is putting everything at risk. He's talking about a legacy. He's been speaking to the players this afternoon about everything that they've achieved. If you look back the last 15 years or whatever he said, the Scotland manager said what this team has achieved has not really been achieved that much, and you've got to go back to France '98 till we played at a major tournament. You've got to go back to a lot longer till we actually scored a lot of goals in a tournament. The fact that I don't see where the goals are going to come from. People will say the goals will come from the midfield players. It'll come from McTominay in the midfield. Clark is in trouble if we don't win. He should have got us to the end of the line with a draw or a loss. I think Shanklin, says Diane. For me, Shanklin should have been starting all day long. Armstrong is better than McGinn. It's far better than McGinn, says Doc 67. People down south will probably question that. I mean, it is one of those things. Let me just click on this because they are 300,000. They're saying on the BBC 300,000 Scotland fans were in Munich. 300,000 Scotland fans, they reckon, were in Munich. Jesus, that's a lot of Scottish. Everyone must have abandoned the country for that game. And fair play to them. It's not often that Scotland get to a national tournament. And does it bring the country together? No, this country's when politically the country is still divided as it will ever be. But it is good to see the Falkirk flag at it. I don't believe that they've got English commentators on for the Scotland game. Anyway, the poll that we put up: can Scotland finish second tonight in the group? Yes, 27%, even though we need a 6 goal swing. No is 47%, and 27% is come on, it's Scotland. Come on, it is Scotland. Oh, Jesus. And let's get some more comments. Clark, are you serious? Do you want to lose this? Why is Ralston starting again? Oh, wait, because he plays for Celtic, says Aaron Hart. The thing is, he doesn't get a start for Celtic. I can understand where people are coming from because let's face it, Tony Ralston isn't first choice at Celtic, but Tony Ralston has started the 3 games for Scotland, which says it's a problem position, and that's the reason that the player is starting. Ralston again, Clark doesn't. He's going to cost us, says Clark. Che Adams is not the answer. Enjoy your last game in charge, Clark. Should the Scotland manager be. Look, Scotland still have the chance of going through. And I think if it is his last game, Rangers and Hearts fans on here bordering on waiting on Scotland lose because Ralston and McGregor, Adams, sorry excuse for Scottish citizens, sorry about being Scottish, you're British, says this one. Ralston, Adams, and Gunn is a joke, says Alistair. Why is our Ralston playing? He was shocking the first game, giving the pass away for the goal. Surely it's got to be someone else that is better in that position. Best chance ever to get out of the group And that's our lineup. But dearie me, generally can't see where the goals will come from. Says DC 1984. I'm totally with DC 1984 on that one. I cannot see where the goals will come from. It's okay saying that a goal will come from midfield, but we need a striker to put the ball in the back of the net. We've got a proven striker that plays in the SPFL and that puts goals away for fun for Hearts. If you the get him the oh fucking Clark, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Anyway, see the Scotland fans are all in the stadium. They're on about 45 minutes to go for the game. Ross McCorry must be honking at training. Shanklin does not give the press, which Adams does. But given the limited chances Scotland have, you bet on Shanklin to score a goal over Adams. Diane, that's my thinking. There's no use having a player up that can press up the front because we never get the ball up front. They're going to play with a low block, right? We're playing five at the friggin' back. Surely Shanklin's the one to hit on the break. Surely Shanklin and James Forrest are the ones to do the pushing. James Forrest on the wing that can get that pace down the wing and get a ball into Lawrence Shankland. The economy generally is going through the roof with Scottish fans drinking, says Jamesy Boy. Yeah, it is that, and I could personally say that with the amount of message from the Hansen family, Alan Hansen. Alan's been discharged from hospital today to continue his recovery at home. Alan, Janet, and his family. So great news for Alan Hansen's family. The fact that he is making a recovery. He was seriously ill in hospital, and he was a Scotland legend. Let's face it. And, this is Scotland's 12th major tournament. 12th major tournament. Uh, it's really defensive, conservative from Clark. As always, Ralston starting because Hickey and Patterson is injured. Yeah, you're right there because Hickey would have started all day long. Hickey's a player that came from Hearts through the youth system at Hearts and one that got away as far as Celtic are concerned. 1970, 1974. Sweet dream. Now the BBC are now showing a load of old Scotland footage. Scotland Uruguay. And the thing is back in the 70s and the 80s, Scotland teams Scotland teams got to the tournaments a lot. They were regular at the tournaments in the 70s and 80s. It was a fantastic time to be a Scotland fan. You keep this channel going after Scotland eventually put out tonight or the knockout. Yeah, this channel was, Diane, this channel will be going from now on because I am going to be going to games here in Spain. And when I go to games here in Spain, this is the channel that these will be on. So don't worry, this channel will keep going. And it will probably give you some European football news on a weekly basis also. We'll talk about the different leagues, talk about the German league. We'll talk about the major leagues in European football. We talk weekly about the Spanish league. Purely because I'm here, I go to games in the lower Spanish leagues to show you the difference between the lower league attendances here in Spain compared to other parts of Europe. And Hazel Irvin's always been a munter. Oh, Jesus. We've got a young Gordon Strachan on the telly now. 1990. Who remembers 1990? Italia 90. Back in the day. I'm so glad that Scotland fans have stopped wearing those silly ginger fucking things that they used to wear. And what about the legend that was. No, he wasn't a legend, was he? Anyway, Scotland fans are all just about. Uh, oh no, Jesus. It, it gives me the fear looking back at some of the Scotland teams actually. Euro 96. Oh my God, don't even talk about Euro 96. That Gaza goal. Yeah, that Gaza goal. Anyway, right, that is the starting team. I'm away to get the barbecue fired up, put the meat on the barbecue. I've got a big juicy steak to eat before this. We'll end the poll here. The poll has ended, and where's it gone? Oh, there's the poll. There's the results for the poll. Can Scotland finish second tonight in the group? 52% says no, 23% say yes. Um, and come on, it's Scotland, 23%. There's been 17 votes completed on the channel. Thanks to everyone that has enjoyed the video. Folk fortune soonest. See you after the game. Yeah, I will be back on. We'll come back on. We'll do a video after the game to see how Scotland got on, win, lose, or draw. This channel will be going on way into the end of the tournament, and it'll give us some European football after. Also, I'm going to start going to some European football, so that's why the channel is called Baz Does Euro Football. Anyway, um, thanks for everyone for watching, and I shall see you later.